How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie is one of the most influential self-help books ever written. Published in 1936, its principles remain timeless, offering readers practical advice on how to connect with others, build lasting relationships, and positively influence people around them. This summary takes you through the key ideas from each section, broken down by chapter, while weaving in an easy-flowing narrative to guide you through the book's core messages. Introduction. Dale Carnegie starts by reminding us of a fundamental truth. People are emotional beings, driven by their desires for appreciation, respect, and acceptance. The primary goal of this book is to teach us how to handle interpersonal relationships effectively. It isn't about manipulating others, but rather about fostering authentic, meaningful connections. Carnegie stresses the importance of understanding others and developing genuine empathy, two key elements that can help us become more likable and persuasive. Part 1. Fundamental Techniques in Handling People. The first section dives into 3 foundational techniques that will set the stage for more complex concepts later. Chapter 1. Don't criticize, condemn, or complain. Carnegie's first principle is simple but profound. Avoid criticism. People are rarely receptive to being judged or blamed. When you criticize someone, they naturally become defensive and resistant. Instead, focus on understanding their perspective. Carnegie uses historical examples and anecdotes to show that people who refrain from criticism are more effective in maintaining relationships. Chapter 2. Give honest and sincere appreciation. Everyone craves appreciation, but it must be genuine. Carnegie emphasizes that flattery can come off as insincere, but true appreciation has the power to uplift and motivate others. By focusing on what you genuinely admire about someone, you create an emotional connection and make them feel valued. This builds trust and rapport. Chapter 3. Arouse in the other person an eager want. To influence people, you must think from their perspective. Instead of focusing on your own needs and desires, find out what the other person wants and help them achieve it. Carnegie shares stories where focusing on others' goals led to successful outcomes, underscoring that the key to influence is aligning your intentions with their interests. Part 2. 6 Ways to Make People Like You. In this section, Carnegie expands on 6 practical steps for fostering connections and building lasting relationships. Chapter 4. Become genuinely interested in other people. People are naturally self-centered, but to win friends, you must show a real interest in others. Carnegie advises us to listen actively, ask questions, and show curiosity about their lives. People appreciate those who make them feel important. Chapter 5. Smile. A smile is a simple but powerful tool. It communicates warmth, friendliness, and positivity. Carnegie explains how a genuine smile can disarm others and make them feel at ease, creating a welcoming atmosphere. Chapter 6. Remember that a person's name is to that person the sweetest sound. Using someone's name in conversation is a simple but effective way to show them that you value and remember them. Carnegie emphasizes that this small act can make a lasting impression as it acknowledges their individuality. Chapter 7. Be a good listener. Listening is one of the most underrated skills in human interaction. Carnegie encourages us to focus entirely on the person speaking, without interrupting or offering immediate responses. By allowing them to express themselves fully, you show respect and understanding, which deepens your connection. Chapter 8. Talk in terms of the other person's interests. To engage someone effectively, you should steer conversations toward topics they care about. When people feel that you are interested in what matters to them, they become more open and comfortable around you. Carnegie shares examples where focusing on others' interests leads to stronger bonds. Chapter 9. Make the other person feel important, and do it sincerely. The last principle in this section ties back to the need for genuine appreciation. Carnegie reminds us that making others feel valued is not about pandering or flattering, but about showing them authentic respect. When you sincerely acknowledge others' worth, you elevate the relationship and gain their trust. Part 3. How to win people to your way of thinking. This section explores the art of persuasion, presenting principles that help influence others without resorting to arguments or coercion. Chapter 10. The only way to get the best of an argument is to avoid it. Carnegie believes that arguments are counterproductive because no one wins. Even if you win an argument, you often lose the goodwill of the person you were debating. He advises avoiding arguments altogether and instead finding common ground. Chapter 11. Show respect for the other person's opinions. Never say, "You're wrong." When you tell someone they're wrong, their natural reaction is to defend themselves. Carnegie stresses the importance of respecting others' opinions, even if you disagree. By showing respect, you maintain harmony and can guide the conversation more productively. Chapter 12. If you're wrong, admit it quickly and emphatically. Admitting your mistakes shows humility and earns respect. Carnegie encourages us to be forthright in acknowledging our errors, which can disarm any hostility from others and pave the way for a more constructive dialogue. Chapter 13. Begin in a friendly way. Starting any interaction with warmth and friendliness makes people more receptive. Carnegie explains that a kind and gentle approach sets a positive tone for discussions, making it easier to influence others. Chapter 14. Get the other person saying yes, yes immediately. To influence someone, start with questions or statements they already agree with. This yes set technique makes them more open to your perspective later in the conversation, as they feel that you're aligned with them. Chapter 15. Let the other person do a great deal of the talking. By allowing others to talk more, you gain insight into their thoughts, opinions, and desires. Carnegie advises against dominating conversations. Instead, ask questions and let the other person express themselves fully. Chapter 16. Let the other person feel that the idea is theirs. People are more likely to support ideas they believe are their own. Carnegie suggests subtly guiding conversations so that others come to conclusions on their own, which makes them more invested in the outcome. Chapter 17. Try honestly to see things from the other person's point of view. Understanding someone else's perspective is key to influencing them. Carnegie urges readers to practice empathy, considering how the other person feels and thinks. This approach fosters mutual understanding and reduces resistance. Chapter 18. Be sympathetic to the other person's ideas and desires. Sympathy helps to diffuse tension and build rapport. Carnegie highlights how showing sympathy for someone's struggles or viewpoints can create a bond of trust, making it easier to guide them toward your perspective. Chapter 19. Appeal to the nobler motives. People like to think of themselves as good and noble. By appealing to their higher values, you can persuade them to act in ways that align with those principles. Carnegie uses examples where appealing to someone's sense of honor and decency led to positive results. Chapter 20. Dramatize your ideas. Carnegie advises us to present ideas in a lively and engaging way. Using stories, metaphors, or vivid descriptions can make your point more compelling and memorable. Chapter 21. Throw down a challenge. People are naturally competitive, and a well-placed challenge can motivate them to strive for success. Carnegie suggests using challenges as a way to inspire action and bring out the best in people. Part 4. Be a leader. How to change people without giving offense or arousing resentment. In this final section, Carnegie explores how to lead and inspire change in others. Chapter 22. Begin with praise and honest appreciation. When giving feedback, always start by acknowledging what the person is doing right. This sets a positive tone and makes them more receptive to constructive criticism. Chapter 23. Call attention to people's mistakes indirectly. Rather than directly pointing out mistakes, Carnegie suggests using subtle hints to help others recognize and correct their errors. This prevents embarrassment and maintains goodwill. Chapter 24. Talk about your own mistakes before criticizing the other person. Sharing your own mistakes helps humanize you and makes the other person feel less defensive. By showing humility, you create a safe environment for growth. Chapter 25. Ask questions instead of giving direct orders. Instead of issuing commands, frame your requests as questions. This approach empowers others to take ownership of their actions and decisions, making them feel respected. Chapter 26. Let the other person save face. Carnegie stresses the importance of preserving someone's dignity. Even when correcting or reprimanding someone, ensure that they don't feel humiliated or ashamed. Chapter 27. Praise the slightest improvement and praise every improvement. Recognizing small victories encourages continued progress. Carnegie advises giving frequent and sincere praise to motivate others and reinforce positive behaviors. Chapter 28. Give the other person a fine reputation to live up to. By expressing confidence in someone's abilities, you can inspire them to rise to the occasion. Carnegie shares examples of how setting high expectations encourages people to meet those standards. Chapter 29. Use encouragement. Make the fault seem easy to correct. When pointing out mistakes, do so in a way that makes the solution seem manageable. This keeps the person motivated and confident in their ability to improve. Chapter 30. Make the other person happy about doing the thing you suggest. Finally, Carnegie advises framing your requests in a way that makes the other person excited to comply. Show them how it benefits them and aligns with their goals. Conclusion. Dale Carnegie's principles are timeless. They teach us that building meaningful relationships and influencing others comes down to empathy, respect, and genuine care for the people we interact with. Whether in our personal lives or professional environments, these ideas can help us communicate more effectively and create positive, lasting impressions. Thank you for listening to this summary of Dale Carnegie's How to Win Friends and Influence People. Whether you're looking to improve your relationships, enhance your communication skills, or simply become more influential, the lessons in this book offer practical guidance for creating genuine, lasting connections. If you enjoyed this summary, be sure to like and subscribe for more insights into powerful life-changing books.